Hey, good morning, or whatever it is where you are. Thanks for stopping in, checking out 11:15. Just gonna throw some cards here. I feel compelled to do this, but it's been a struggle, and I don't know if perhaps that's going to align with somebody if someone's going through a situation. Um, it's just been a fight all morning to just do this simple thing. Just everything seems to be working against me, and you may feel the same way as well. Journeys, relocation, and moving on. Oddly enough, I do have the Pisces card sitting up here. This might be for you. If I get any indication otherwise, we will label accordingly. Let's see. Journeys, relocation, and moving on. Anything else for this? Dark side of wealth, financial failure or loss, fleeting success, lack of stability, lack of resources. Sounds job related. Painful endings, deep wounds, betrayal, loss, crisis, failure, collapse, and defeat. Could be relationship as well. Confusion, brutality, chaos, inner clarity, rethinking an idea, clouded judgment. I think maybe that goes for both situations. Regret, failure, disappointment, pessimism, loss, and grief. Quiet power, inner truth, callous weakness, loss of emotional control, manipulation, misuse of power. Completion, accomplishment, wholeness, attainment, fulfillment, travel, celebration of life, and arriving. So, what I'm seeing is there was an ending of a job, ending of a relationship, possibly either or both. One could have been the catalyst for the loss of the other, but this was just a cycle completion. And I don't mean to sound callous, not at all, but fact of the matter is we're here to grow, change, evolve, have different lessons, different experiences, you know, grow from the losses as well as the gains, you know, moving on is good for everyone. Let's get a little more on this relationship portion here. Anything else for sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, receptive, persistent, working on it? Making healthy choices in love and life, self-love, self-care, being happier. Looks like you're being asked to focus on yourself at this time. Also, great advice, great message. Everyone could use more of that in their lives. And just like we talked about last week, self-care isn't necessarily just, let's make sure we're getting our all of our shaving done, and let's get the nails did and the skin treatment, and let's do our day and night regimen, and let's take our makeup off before bed, and let's
Kelly from Healthline.com. Approximately 6 to 12 months after finishing treatment, your natural fingernails and toenails will start to regrow.
I don't recall asking Alexa for any advice, but there's some advice to you from Alexa. She just decided that she needed to butt in. Alexa, stop. Good grief. Okay, well, there's your message. Perhaps you're having an issue with your fingernails right now. If so, I'm sorry. I know that can be painful and irritating, but self care has a lot more depth than what we may be told by society. That's literally just the surface of self care and the surface of the human that you were put here to take care of. Self care is a lot about doing your inner work and realizing that you are worthy of everything that everyone else is worthy of. Um, if I can put it in the simplest terms. Um, there are channels on YouTube that are great resources about doing inner work and how to really dig deep into that. And I definitely recommend checking them out. Let's see, do we have anything for the work situation? Do we have work here? Anything in regard to the career, the lost job, possibly a new job? This may be very fresh. Anything else for work? Understanding. So maybe coming to terms with the fact that both of these things, for whatever reasons, ended at the same time. You may be involved with a coworker, and just understanding that the job had to go with the relationship. It will probably make more sense as time goes on. Do we have anything else for the job, the career? Burden. Yeah, the job may have become a little burdensome with the loss of the relationship. But I'm not picking up any vibes that this person, your relationship, and the loss of it was causing any outward issues in the career. Just, hard feelings. You don't want to necessarily spend all day in the presence or proximity to your ex. Just because, thoughts and feelings on the relationship, and it could be just making the vibes icky. Intensity. Yeah, it was intense. It's just an intense situation. Yeah, I get that for sure. Yeah, and we have mind also. That could definitely leave your mind running all day about the relationship, and getting out of the job could be a major improvement. But it's difficult, I feel. It's difficult for you to be. I feel like you kind of feel like, wow, like what kind of loser am I? Like, I lose my relationship and my job at the same time. But trust me, you're doing the right thing for yourself. This is definitely necessary. How can they heal from this? Any advice for healing? Any further advice for healing? Joy. Yeah. Just keep your mind open to the fact that, this was a cycle for you. We have Beside the World here. This was just a cycle. It has been completed. You can move on to bigger and better things that will create more joy in your life. What do we have? Victory. You've completed this cycle in the best way possible. Period. Um, you know, I feel like you understood the assignment here. You completed the tasks that needed to be completed. You learned the lessons that were in your agenda, and you have new knowledge that you can now apply to the subsequent cycles in your life. This seems, I mean, I know it's hard to say, like, oh, I lost my relationship and I lost my job. Like, what do I have left now? But that's not it at all. You need to put a fresh perspective on this. This is actually phenomenal for you. The old things that have become monotonous and no longer useful to you are falling away and clearing the way for better, period. That's really amazing. I'm compelled to see, who do we have coming in for you? Who's going to be important in this next chapter? I don't think you're... Oh, yeah. Perhaps a Libra. Or that could just be, I find it funny, Pisces. I had a reading last night for you, for which it also involved a Libra. Huh. And I have Cancer with care here. Perhaps you care deeply for a Libra in your life, and maybe they will be an important character in your next chapter. Yeah, your reading last night was intertwined with a Libra. I couldn't differentiate the signs, and that's my bad. As I said, I'm a human, and I should know these things. I don't. Um, should have been fairly obvious, but I had gotten the signs mixed up. Very interesting. Huh. Let me see. I really don't think you're supposed to know anymore at this time. The Cancer in your life that you care about is going to be an important part of your next chapter. I don't think you're supposed to know the capacity from an outside source. I think that's something that you're supposed to gather on your own. Um, everything in this life seems to be if you really contemplate on all the bad things, you can find the silver linings. And not to be hippity dippity about it, but if you really look at the bad things that happen, they always seem to lead us to better things. If you really look at it, look at every situation that leads to something else happening, you can really start identifying that this good thing wouldn't have happened without this bad thing. There's no way it would have happened without this bad thing. So I want you to keep that in mind and apply it. I want you to focus on self-care, healthy choices, and I want you to see this for the blessing that it was. And I want you to stop with that negative mindset where you're saying, well, I'm just a loser, lost my job, lost my relationship. No. No, stop with all that. You shouldn't be thinking that of yourself. A, it's not true. And B, that's a societal standard. Um, people lose relationships and jobs all the time. This is just all of the old things being cleared out all at once for you. That's all that is. If anything, it's major efficiency. All right. I wish you well. Say hello to your Cancer person. Um, and really look at this as the blessing it is. Take care, Pisces.